So I had something happen this week that I thought would make a pretty good video. Believe it or not, we got a low ball offer on a property. And instead of balling it up and throwing it at the buyer, I had to recommend that the seller take a different approach. And this is what it is. So if you want to know how to deal with a low ball offer, please listen to this video. So you can't turn on the TV or the internet right now and not hear about 7% interest rates and how it is removing so many buyers from the market, and it is leading people to believe that properties are on the market for longer and that sellers will be a little more willing to negotiate on price. But here in our area, the greater Charlotte market, it is still a very tight supply, and there are so many jobs still being generated and people moving here that it's still a great time to sell. So when you get a buyer though who thinks that they can offer a lower price, how do you deal with that? Well, I got three things I'd like to mention to you. Number one, check your comparable sales. So when we talk to a seller client, it may be 30 or 45 days before we actually put the house live on the market when we pull the comparable sales and determine a good list price. I'll always though go back right before we go live, and I'll pull new comparable sales to be sure that the value is what we think that it is. And if you find that your value is still good and you have this offer that is clearly low, what I do is go to the buyer or the buyer's agent if there's one present, and I ask them, hey, how did you come up with your offer? Will you share your comparable sales data with me? And a lot of times you'll find that A, they didn't look at sales, they just had an idea of what they thought it would be a fair price. Or B, they may have gotten comparable sales from a different area that just do not work for this property. So if you can have your agent share the comparable sales that is good for your property, you may find that you don't have to do a lot of negotiation to get them to come up in their price. The second thing I want to suggest that you do is counter the offer. I can't tell you how many buyer clients I have dealt with over the years that take this old school approach and they'll say something like, I don't ever offer less price on anything. Well, in this case, that may mean you don't get to buy a house. But if you're the seller, what it may mean is you just simply got to make a very small adjustment in your price so that that buyer in their mind will make it'll be okay for them to come up. They just want to see that they're winning in the negotiation by getting you to compromise some. So you don't have to give a lot, but just be willing to adjust slightly and see if that buyer will move. If the buyer doesn't move, then you can at least know that you made an effort to make the deal work. And it also tells you that you probably were only dealing with a buyer that was looking for a steal. And lastly, if you still can't get your pricing to work with the buyer, as awkward as it may be, see if you can get your buyer to explain their offer. A lot of times it's not about just the price that they offered. It may be that they are trying to keep money back in their pocket to pay for closing costs, or it may be that they are figuring they're going to have to do certain repairs on the house and they're estimating what that money need will be, and they're kind of holding that back. If you talk to them and find these things out, you may find that there are ways that you can help them with the closing costs so they can increase their price. Or even on the repairs, many times at our firm, we will assist with getting better quotes than what the buyer thought the cost would be, and that will allow them to get their number up. The key is just good communication, and you need to encourage your agent to have that with the buyer or the buyer's agent. I hope you find that helpful. If you have any questions about lowball offers or the spring market or just anything in general, please feel free to give me a call or email me. I'll look forward to talking to you. Thanks.